Hey everyone, welcome to my video on quadratic equations. Today, we are going to be learning two really cool things. How to write a quadratic equation in something called a completed square form, and what it does to the graph. And then, we'll check out the discriminant, to find out how many solutions the equation has before we even solve it. I'll show you examples, graphs, and how I used Excel to make it super easy to understand. Now, let's jump in. So first up, we have the standard form of quadratic equation, y equals to ax squared. This is the simplest kind of parabola. If a equals to 1, it opens upwards like a U. If a equals to minus 1, it opens downwards. In Excel, I've graphed this as a smooth curve, illustrated as the blue line on the quadratic graph, and you can clearly see that symmetry around the vertical axis. Now, let's take it a step further with this general form y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Adding b and c affects the position and shape of the graph. We can actually rewrite it into what's called the completed square form, illustrated here. Using Excel formulas, I set it up so that this form updates automatically when I change A, B, or C. Here's a quick breakdown of what each parameter does. A controls the direction and width of the parabola, B shifts the graph left or right, and C shifts the graph up or down. So, for example, if A equals to 1, B equals to 4, and C equals to minus 5, the graph shifts left by 2 units and down by 9. From the completed square form, we can easily identify the vertex, the axis of symmetry, which is the vertical line that goes down through the vertex, and whether the graph opens upwards or downwards. So just by changing the values in Excel, we can see the graph shifts in real time. Now here's where it gets interesting. To find out how many real solutions a quadratic has, we use something called the discriminant. D equals to b squared minus 4ac or delta equals to b squared minus 4ac. Based on the value of d, we can tell exactly how the parabola behaves. For example, if my a was 1, my b is negative 3, my c is negative 4. You can see that the discriminant is 25. Since it's positive, there are two real axes as it crosses the x-axis at 2 points. Now another example is when a is 1, b is 6, and c is 9. The discriminant is 0. And since it's 0, there is only one repeated real solution as the parabola only touches the x-axis once. That's a repeated root, and the vertex lies on the x-axis. Now lastly, if the a is 1, and b is 2, and c is 5. Now you can see that the discriminant is minus 16, and since it's negative, means that the graph does not touch the x-axis at all and there's no real solutions. So let's recap on what we've learned. The shape of the quadratic graph depends on A. The position is controlled by B and C. The discriminant tells us how many real solutions we have. And Excel makes it super easy to see and understand these changes instantly. Thanks for watching. I hope this made quadratic equations a little more visual. And if you learned something, please give this video a like. Also, feel free to try this example in your own spreadsheet.